So I'm gonna give you guys the truth about dating as you get older. And now I'm not gonna give you the positive things, and we're only gonna talk about the negatives. We're gonna only talk about the negatives. And number one is time. See, when you're in your 20s, you have so much time to mess with your shorty. You have so much time to mess with your man. But when you get older, you got priorities, you got responsibilities. You have your work, you have the gym, you have to come home and make food. And let's not even talk about it if you have kids. You got to go pick the kids up. You got to do the homework with the kids. You got to make dinner for the kids. So there's many more responsibilities as you get older and less time to really spend with each other. So you're going to have to be a lot more understanding with the person that you choose to deal with. I can only deal with women that aren't so much, how you want to say this? Pests? I don't want to say pests. Pest sounds mean, but those women that are all up on you, all over you all day. Why haven't you text me back right away? Like it's been 5 minutes. I haven't gotten a text back from you. I'm like, shorty, I don't look at my phone like that. Like I'm busy. I'm usually busy and I'm usually not in my phone like that. I'm at work, I'm creating content, I'm at the gym, or I'm playing ball, or I'm reading my Bible. So I don't have all the time in the world to be texting you all day. Now, can I text you throughout the day? Yes. But I can't text you all day. I can't give you that 5 minute window. So the best I can do is if I disappear for like 2 hours, 3 hours, I could tell you where I was. I could say, hey, I'm about to go play ball, so I'm gonna probably be gone for like a couple hours. I could do that. Or I can say, I'm sorry I was playing ball, or I'm sorry I was working on my project. I could do that. But I can't do the every 5 minutes. I can't do the constant texting. It's too much of a time waster. And I know as I've gotten older, I've become so much more sensitive to time. Like sometimes I don't even want to sleep because I'm like, I'll sleep when I'm dead. Like I'd be so like concerned about time because there's things I want to achieve in life. There's goals that I need to hit and they're all time sensitive. I eventually run out. I eventually run out of time. So these things require my energy and I can't use my time with sleeping. So sometimes sleeping gives me anxiety, even though I love sleeping. Like I sleep so good. I'd be out like a baby. Like I talk to some people and they struggle with sleeping. Like they be having insomnia. They have to take the little melatonin pills. Like man, I don't have to take none of that. When I lay down, I be out. But I don't like the fact that my time is gone. It's real hard for me to take naps. Real hard for me to take naps. So when you're dating at an older age, you have to be okay with not consuming somebody's entire schedule, not having that constant flow of conversation with that person. You have to be able to go periods without talking to someone, because we all have responsibilities as an adult. We have things that we have to take care of. That leads me into my next point, children. When you start dating as an older person, a lot of people have kids. Most of the women on these dating apps have kids. So I don't know how you feel about kids, but for some people, they don't want to take care of other people's kids. And I'm not just talking about men, I'm talking about women as well. I see women on there. If you're a baby daddy, swipe left. If you got children, swipe left. So men aren't the only ones that don't want to play the role of a step parent. That's also women as well. So that is something that you have to navigate while you're dating as an older person as well. It shrinks your pool, because so many women have children by 30. Don't even talk about like mid 30s. They have a couple kids by that age. So your pool is a lot smaller, So that's just the kind of things that can make dating as an older person a little bit more difficult. I would say another thing is this leans probably more towards males in the sense that we're less impressionable on the women. When I was dating my ex, I was like her first real boyfriend. I started dating her when I was 23. She was like 20. So I taught her a lot. I was very impressionable. It's like I don't want to compare women to animals because trust me, my ladies, I don't look at y'all as animals. This is just a hypothetical situation. I'm just talking in metaphors right now. But how when you go get a pet, usually you want to get like a baby, like you want to get a kitten, you want to get a puppy because you want to be more impressionable on that puppy. Um, you kind of want that puppy to operate in the ways that you want it to operate. So the same could be for a woman. The older a woman is, the more she's kind of stuck in her ways, the less impressionable she is, the less you can shape her as a man. And sometimes we want a woman that we can shape kind of into the type of woman that we want to be with. Not saying we have to fully transform her, but shape her a little bit, show her the way a little bit, into the type of woman that we want to be with long term. And if you're dating someone older, usually they have their own ways and routines of doing things that may not be aligned with what we want to see out of our partner or out of our future wife. So that kind of pertains to men. Um, so it's a little less for women. And I would say one of the biggest things is emotional baggage. We all have emotional baggage when we enter our, 30s or 40s or however old you may be, but just dating as an older person, you typically come with some type of baggage. And I usually would say that the baggage that women carry are a little heftier than the baggage that men carry. This is kind of similar to the fact that I can't shape her into being a wife that I want her to be for my life. When they have emotional baggage, they're also harder to shape. They already have their way of thinking, how they handle situations. And the way they handle situations could be negative or positive depending on how their past relationships were. I was seeing a girl one time and she got super offended that I liked another girl's picture. Like this girl, I think she went to Vegas or something like that. She was at one of the pool parties, the day parties, probably like at Drea's or something like that. But she had a picture out, I believe, with some friends, and I liked the picture. And the girl I was talking to flipped. She considered that flirting. I was like, when did liking a picture be considered flirting? Like the amount of pictures I just randomly like on my timeline, like, yo, I wouldn't add you, I wouldn't follow you if I was never gonna like your picture. Like that's crazy. That's like who follows people and then ghost watches them? Like, I don't do that. If I don't wanna engage with your content, yo, I'm not gonna follow you. But as long as I'm following you, most likely, if I see a picture that you post that I like, I'm going to like it. I'm going to heart it. But she took that as flirting. And I was like, bro, who burned you in the past? Like, who hurt you? Come to find out it was her ex. Her ex was doing stuff like that. And I guess this is some type of emotional response, some type of emotional trigger to where she thinks like all of a sudden you're cheating if you like a picture of a girl. Like, bro, that's crazy. That's baggage. This woman was 40. That's baggage. That's the type of stuff I ain't got time for. That type of emotional baggage is toxic, super toxic. I told her like you gotta deal with that. Like First of all, I'm a grown man. Like, you're not gonna control me and what pictures I like, and you're not gonna give me hell about it. Like, I'm not gonna tolerate that. Like, I can see if you said, "Why are you following her?" or something like that. I don't like her, but you already know I'm following her. So why get mad that I'm liking the picture? It ain't like she's posting a picture half naked or something like that. Like, I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy, but I don't have time for that type of emotional baggage. And that's why it's scary sometimes to date women that were previously married. And a lot of women, as you date older, a lot of men, as you date older, they have been married at some point. They've been with this They've been with that person for 11 years, 12, 13, 14, 15 years. They done had like 4 kids with them. Their kids are teenagers. They got a couple that are like 9 and 8. Like, well, this chick got a whole family. A whole family. And if you're somebody who wants to build their own family, you're gonna feel some kind of way about talking to a girl who already has like 4 kids. You're gonna feel a way about that, especially as a man, because our role is to be a provider. So when I see a woman that has that many kids, I start looking at them kids as expenses. Them little kids is like car notes. Because maybe initially in the beginning, I don't have to pay for these kids. I don't have to buy them things. But that's going to be something that I'm going to have to do as we continue to get deeper in our relationship. As I get to know these kids more, I'm going to start to pick up more responsibility over them. I'm going to start having to buy more for them because that's what I'm just supposed to do as a provider. Even though a woman's going to be like, "Oh, you don't need to take care of my kids. They got a dad. They got XYZ." Yeah, that sounds good to say, but like, yo, if I marry you, I'm going to have to pay for them. It's with something, whether it's Christmas gifts, whether it's birthday gifts, whether it's food. It's not like I can come home with just dinner for me and you. I gotta bring home dinner for everybody. Have you ever brought home dinner for yourself and then bring home dinner for your girl? Bruh, she would flip on you. Women flip on you if you do that. If you come home with food and then bring them food, they're gonna flip on you. So, though they got a dad that probably can afford them, though they got a mother that can probably take care of them on her own, it is still a responsibility that falls on the man that's in a relationship with the woman. Still falls on him. So as a man, I come in and I start to see those kids as expenses because when I'm dating, I'm thinking long term. I'm not thinking anything short term. I'm thinking, what does this look like 10 years from now? What does this look like 15 years from now? What do my pockets look like with her kids? And then say I want to have my own kids. So I'm looking at that as a hefty note. I look at everything as an expense because I'm a man, and when you're a provider, you're the one who's usually left to pick up the tab. You're the one who has to pay for everything. And I don't think women like understand this. I wish I wish the roles could be reversed and see how much of a burden it is to be the person who always is having to spend money, spend their resources, spend their capital, especially when the times aren't the best right now in the economy. I would love for women to play that role. I know some of y'all have because y'all had some bum boyfriends, no good boyfriends where he was making you pay for everything. He was promising you he was gonna get a job, but he still hasn't gotten a job. He's just been leeching off of you. So I know some of you have, but most of you guys haven't ever had to play the role of the provider. It's a difficult role. It's a difficult role. Not everybody can do that role. Not every man could play that role. And this is the reason why most men don't want to date women with children. It's not a personal thing. Like, we love you women. We love you women, but them kids, man. It also depends on the age too. Like, if you got some older kids, I'm cool with that. I'm not tripping if you got kids that are in high school. They're almost self-sufficient. They're almost at a self-sufficient age. But if you got little babies, you got like 5-year-olds, you got them 9-year-olds, like that's different. That's a different expense in our eyes. And if you got toddlers, if you got newborns, shorty, you shouldn't even be dating. You need to focus on your kid. And I mean that. Like women that got little babies, y'all should be just focused on raising those kids, not looking to date men. Wait till them kids get to like, I don't know, 4 or 5 before you really want to go out and start dating. But your focus in those early years should be on your kid. I never did understand that. Never did. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Dating as an older person is difficult. It's difficult. I mean, even if you like, especially if you just don't have a big circle of friends, it's because when you're younger, you're when you're in college or you're in high school, you have a ton of friends. You're around a ton of women. You're around a ton of girls. Like it's easy to date. But when you're an adult, it is hard to date because you may not have the same access to friends like that. You may not even have friends. You may be focused on your career. You may be focused on building a business. See, I'm focused on my career, elevating. I just took a new job. I'm not gonna say with who, but I work for an aerospace company, and my new position, I'm making $24,000 more than my last position. I'm focused on excelling in my career, moving up the corporate ladder. I'm focused on building my content, strengthening that, growing that, developing that, investing in myself, investing in my equipment so I can produce better looking content, better sounding content. That's what I'm focused on. And a man that's focused on improving his life or getting to a higher level in life may not have all the friends in the world, he may not be hanging out with everybody. He may not have the same access to women as the dude that's friends with everybody. He's at the bar every weekend. He's at the club every weekend. He's just hanging around people. He's hanging around women. Like I don't have that access because I don't go out like that. Boy, I'm busy. I'm booked and busy. If I'm not shooting content, I'm scripting content. If I'm not scripting content or shooting content, I'm editing content. If I'm not doing none of those, I'm working. If I'm not working, I'm in the gym. If I'm not in the gym, I'm reading a book, reading a self-help book, reading a philosophical book, or I'm reading the Bible. So it's 24 hours in a day. How do you use those 24? That's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. And if you have a packed schedule because you're a goal-orientated type of person, it's not easy to meet women as you date older. As a child, when in your 20s, you don't have a ton of responsibilities. It's easier to date. But as you get older, you have responsibilities, and you're really starting to manifest things. You're really starting to grow, develop into who you want to be, who you want to become. You don't really have all those opportunities to meet people in the real world. So dating gets harder. But I thank you guys for checking out this video. If you like my content, I tell y'all this every video, man. Please subscribe. Because I know some of y'all, I used to be one of them where I would watch somebody's content and I wouldn't subscribe, but I would watch their content like every day. So if you're one of those people that are watching my content every day or whenever I upload, can you please subscribe? That's all I ask. Or like, or just write me a comment. I appreciate a comment. You can at least give me a comment. What do I gotta do, man? Do I gotta make it shake? Do I gotta break it? Do I gotta bust it down for a real one? Huh? Do I gotta dance for y'all? Do I gotta tap dance like a clown? to get some support. I'm just playing with y'all. I thank y'all for spending time with me. You could have been spending time anywhere else, but you chose to spend it with me. And I appreciate you for that. But I'm going to have more content on the way. I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out.